Hello, UK Crime Book members, and welcome to this panel, The Darker Side of Crime, with Rob Ashman and Cheryl Elaine, who have been giving me nightmares this week. They can introduce themselves, and then we'll bombard them with the questions. Rob.
Hi.
Hello. Introduce yourself. Show us your latest book.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. Can I first say that hope everybody's keeping well and staying safe on this Bank Holiday Monday. My name is Rob Ashman, and I'm the author of the Mechanic trilogy. I've also written the P.I. World Play series, of which there are 4 books, and I've just published 2 more books in a new series, which is C.S. Malice. The first of which came out at the beginning of March, and the other one was published, where are we now? Last Monday. So I've been on the blog tour this week, which has been really good. And this is Twinkle Twinkle Little Light is the book that came out last week.
And Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Elaine. My recent novel is Stitched. The previous one before that is No Ordinary Girl. The reason I write dark crime is I'm a little bit sick, much like Rob. I think we've got a similar kind of mind going on there. And it's lovely to meet you all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. I wasn't kidding. I was telling Rob just before we came on live that this weekend I've been reading lots of your books, and I came in at various points looking quite pale. My eldest daughter was quite worried about me. They are dark, but brilliant. Yeah, thank you for that.
Our job is
we
done.
aim to disturb.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't know I was such a wuss, but wow. So, speaking of all the trauma you've inflicted on me and the rest of your loyal readers, how do you write the darker scenes, and does it take a lot out of you to write the darker scenes? Start with you, please, Rob.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, Sam?
Absolutely. Does it take a lot out of you to write the darker scenes, and how do you write them?
No, and it's probably says quite a bit about me. I find the darker scenes flow a lot easier than the ones that maybe don't. So no, I find them really exhilarating. There were some scenes in The State of Retribution which made me really angry, and I had to and take myself for a walk around the village and calm down until I came back and started writing again. So, but no, the darker scenes are fun.
Cheryl?
No, I'm quite comfortable with the dark scenes. I think it's because I like a lot of dark books myself. I love to watch dark movies. Love anything about serial killers. And I'm always sort of curious about what's sort of behind the mind of a monster. So, and what capability these people have got, you know, to be able to do such a horrid deed. And I'm just so curious about that I do loads of research about it. And it doesn't freak me out or anything. Don't know, maybe that's a bit weird, but I think it's something to do with, as well, a lot of books have a lot of filler, and I like to be enthralled in the book from start to finish. And I think that was my aim as a writer, to be able to do that. So that's my reasoning behind it.
I can definitely say that neither of your books have any filler. Everything has a point. There was no filler whatsoever. It was
that's
hell
good
for leather, but always. Yeah. We've got a comment here, and I do know it's from David Gilchrist, even though I can't see the it just comes up with Facebook user, and it says, Cheryl Elaine, it's been so long ago since we leave the market.
Yes. Yeah, we did have a meet up, and it was lovely to meet them in person. They were so nice, the whole family, and it was a really nice afternoon. And it's just nice to meet, new book people. I think it's a really good community.
Yeah. And Rob, you and Cheryl have worked, well, you've been to Harrogate, you've been to different places together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it like for you getting out to meet families and meet book people?
I'm sorry, Sam, I lost you again there.
You can't hear me, can you? How does it feel to get out? You like to go out and meet people, and you like to do live events in person.
Yes.
How does that feel when you're out there doing that?
I have to say, it's terrifying, but I really enjoy it. And it doesn't matter how many other events I go to, it's like I'm doing it for the first time every time. And whilst I have my readings that I do, and I have the various stock answers to questions and so on and so forth. But it is an absolutely terrifying prospect. But I really enjoy it. It's great. And of course, when I meet authors like Cheryl, that's fantastic, because we share war stories and so on. And
I'm not allowed to repeat them stories.
No, I know, but it is really nice to know. It is really nice to know that you're not the only one who feels that way or is that bonkers.
Yeah. We've got a question that says, I'll just put out to any members who are watching, please put your name on your question, because all I'm getting is Facebook users. So I'm not seeing who's asking you these questions, unfortunately. But it says, never tempted to write a story about a lovable granny solving crimes between knitting and baking cakes. Rob.
Well,
I can hear you absolutely fine. Right up to ask me a question.
I only got half the question there. I'm still back on the question about Harrogate. Sorry, I was just thinking. I just think it's one of them things. Like when I met Rob, and it was just so much easier to meet all them sort of bookish people when you'd had a few beers. Beers and books seem to be a theme that goes together, and it makes sort of life so much easier. And you can be more yourself. I think it's more. For me, it's more terrifying doing something live like this. I prefer to be out and meet people and do it that way, because I think you can be more yourself then.
Yeah.
So sorry, what was that?
Do you want to show off your beverages of choice?
You want to what?
Show off your beverages of choice for today.
Beverages of choice, yeah. So
beverages of choice.
A nice vodka and Coke for me. It's a bank holiday, so
it is a bank holiday afternoon, and I think we're allowed.
Absolutely agree. So neither of you fancy writing about Granny's baking? Very obvious.
No, but I think with my book Stitch, there's a bit of a theme there. It is a stitcher, so that's sort of the serial killer.
Absolutely,
signature. So yeah.
I think in terms of Granny baking thing, if I hear the question correctly, then that can always be a front. That can always be a front for far more sinister going on in the background. So that works. That does work.
We've got some more questions coming in. One says, I can understand why Rob is not hearing all the questions. Sound quality isn't very good. So we'll have to Yeah, I'm not sure why we're not getting good sound quality. Maybe we should take it in turns to refresh our browser.
Okay. Can I just add
Sorry,
that?
go on, Rob.
Just add that I do have tinnitus as well. So therefore, with the crappy on the line, I can't hear any of it.
Right. We think we've narrowed down the problems, but I'm worried to let Cheryl restart the browser in case she doesn't come back. Right.
Yeah, Crackle's gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Try this. So we've got a question from James Farley. Hi, Alex. It says, how do you get in the minds of your dark characters? Rob, do you want to start?
Yeah. So, I'd actually, it's a great question, by the way, Alex. And it's kind of the other way round for me, in that my characters get in my mind, and people ask me where my inspiration comes from, and it's always about the voices in my head, and that's always where it starts. Whichever book I've written and whichever series it's been. So it's not about me getting in their heads; it's about them getting into mine, and they drip feed me information about why they're doing what they're doing, why is it important to them, and all of that backstory that has made them the way they are. And I think sometimes that's why my books come out in the series, because they don't tell me everything all at once. And that certainly happened with the Mechanic trilogy, because that just went on and on. I couldn't seem to get to the end of it. So, yeah, it's a good question.
Cheryl.
Well, I think the dark characters, like Rob says, just comes from your dark mind. But I think the first book that I wrote, No Ordinary Girl, I was sort of inspired to write that through an experience that I'd sort of had. And it sort of went on to a bit of a nightmare that I was having. Basically, my daughter had met somebody from an Eastern European country that's got a high trafficking number. And she was only 16, 17 at the time, and she wanted to go over to the country to see his family with him. And I had to, when I looked at all the information about the country, I was just sort of a little bit horrified. And then I also had to get a solicitor's letter and some forms signed to protect her if she was going to this particular country. So on that scale, I think it's not just a book about, the trafficking and the torture and all the horrific things. It actually contains some of my actual nightmares that I had about the whole time my daughter was there. So that was one way of doing a dark character. And the others, like I say, I think it's just because I'm dark and that's what I thrive on. I thrive on something that you can really sink your teeth into and go a little bit wild with.
We've got a question from Diane Saxon, who's doing it. Do you ever kill off people in your books that have annoyed you? Rob, do you want to go first?
Are we really allowed to answer this one?
Okay, I think the answer to that is no. I think my answer to that is no.
Fair enough.
And I think the reason for that is I quite like characters that annoy me, because I find them really interesting. And if they annoy me, they annoy the other characters around them. And that brings a certain tension into the narrative, which I think is really helpful to build that plot as it goes along. So I think I'd probably be more likely to kill off nice people than I would kill off nasty or annoying people.
Fair enough. And
No, I don't. Well, I've thought about it, but no, I've not really done that. I think you just sort of get wrapped up in that particular character. I think the people that you meet throughout life sort of gives you a little bit of inspiration. You can put a little bit of this and a little bit of that of it into it. But I may kill off a few in the future.
I want to know, and Rob knows what's coming. Have you ever written a character based on a real person?
Ah, right. Okay. I've written several characters which are based on real people, and I wouldn't divulge who they are.
Of course.
But in this instance, when I wrote Killing Pretty, I'd written about 17,000 words, and I had Damien, I had Chaplin, and I had Mary, and I had Detective Kelly Peterson. So I had those three characters, and I knew Damien was married, but she wouldn't talk to me. She kept herself hidden. And Karen and I went away, and we spent a few days in Amsterdam. And we did the normal sort of tourist stuff around Amsterdam. And we went to the red light district, and we were in a bar, and I could see this woman across the road, and she was in absolute control of her environment. And she looked as if she'd just fallen off the cover of a fashion magazine. She had a big circle of eyes around her, and she'd point to the guy. They'd walk to the window, she'd open it, she'd have a chat, and then she'd send them away, and then point to another guy, they'd come over, she'd have a chat, send them away. And she had these guys, and there had to be probably 20 of them, absolutely eating out of her hand. And I said to Karen, that's Elsa, because Elsa controls her environment using sex. And from then, Elsa just drove the story. She drove the whole story for Killing Pretties. And it was based on the lady that we saw in the red light in Amsterdam.
I don't know what story I was expecting to hear, but that's not it. Cheryl,
I've heard that story before. It's a good story.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah. And then once I found Elsa, I couldn't shut her up. She drove the whole story after that. So yeah.
But for me, well, I'm writing the one I'm writing at the moment. It's based on some a true person and true facts. But I think that's the first time I've actually done that. And it's just because I'm not going to give too much away, but this particular story in the headlines sort of pricked something inside me, and I just thought, oh my God, how terrifying must that have been? And so I'm going with that. So that's going to be my first sort of story based on sort of a real person and true events. So.
We've got a question from Caroline Maston, one of our admins. For both, how much research do you need to do for your writing? So that's for both of you. Can we start with Rob?
Okay. That's a difficult question to answer. And the reason I find it difficult is because there are some subjects where I research them to death before I write anything. So, for instance, the serial killer in Suspended Retribution, he was an army veteran, and so I researched that a lot before I wrote anything. And the serial killer in District Biggie, he worked in an abattoir. I researched that to death before I wrote anything. So I do that in some instances. And then in other instances, I don't do any research at all. And I kind of backfill when the book is already written. So it's kind of, I don't have any hard and fast rule on research.
Cheryl?
Research wise, I do some research, but I think I think you've got to have research with certain things, especially if like you're doing certain procedures that, you know, to the key and things like that. But I think sort of the way I write, it's more from, even though it's crime, it's sort of more from the victim's perspective. So for me, because I worked in sort of mental health services for some time, it's a case of the knowledge I've got from that, and you know, putting in all the traumas and things like that. But I mean, I do Google things, and I do read a lot myself. So I think, yeah, I would do a little bit of research. Yeah.
One of admins, Will Templeton, hi Will, has asked, is anything too dark to write about, even for you? Can you start with Rob again, please?
Yeah, I can see the question. I don't think there is. I think even the darkest of topics depends on how you approach them as to how dark they are then actually conveyed to the reader. And I've done child murder, I've done trafficking, I've done drug running. So there's been a full gamut of things there. But it kind of depends on how you then approach that within the book. But no, I don't think there's anything too dark, because they're facts of life. They are the things that happen.
Okay, yeah. And Cheryl?
Sorry, I missed the question. The line crackled a little bit there. So, what was the question?
Is anything too dark to write about?
Anything too dark
to write about?
No, I don't think so. I think humans are quite sadistic, and you know, so for me, if you're writing sort of how cruel somebody can be, I just tend to go with that. My books are very dark. They are quite graphic. They're not for everybody, but for me, that is the way that I sort of see crime. You know, without that monstrosity happening, there is no crime in the first instance. So I'm prepared to go.
Yeah.
The only thing I haven't really done is I haven't done any sort of animal abuse. But
yeah,
I think it's more because I'm more about the human and the working mind of the human. So no, no, I'm just sick.
If I can just add to that, the animal abuse one is quite interesting. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just gonna have to fiddle with some settings.
Yeah,
okay. The animal abuse one is quite interesting, because in this little piggy, as I mentioned earlier, the guy worked in an abattoir. And so I wrote a very faithful representation of what happens in an abattoir. And I didn't have to glorify it, because everybody knows what happens. And I just wrote it as I saw it on all the YouTube videos that I watched and so on. And I actually picked up my own troll, my own internet troll, on the basis of that. And it didn't matter the complete torture and degradation that this guy then committed on humans and on the people he murdered. It was like, don't write an accurate representation of what happened in an abattoir. And I got my own internet troll on the basis of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel that putting yourself out and writing certain things, it does sort of draw that, and I think it's something that as a writer over time we've learned to tough up to it. I think when I first started and first read sort of a review like that, for me, I was like, oh my God, this is awful. They must think, but now I just think, well, maybe it's not for everybody. That's the way I write. That's the way I see things. Much like Rob, he was telling the tale his way. At the end of the day, it's fiction, so that's the only way I can put it.
We've got a question from Kaz. Are you ever worried about being put on some kind of watch list for your book research?
I love this question. It's a great question. I don't know about our watch list, but certainly Karen, my wife, has always said that whenever she wants to get divorced from me, all she's going to do is take my laptop down to the police station and hand it in. And she says, that will be the last I see of you.
Cheryl?
Yeah, well, I do. To be honest, I wipe everything off. Try and wipe everything off after, because I'm terrified that my kids are going to see something that I've been Googling, which is not a good thing. But I mean, I've also sort of, even with my friends and things like that, if they've read my books, they've said to me, oh, it's a bit like, oh, do we have to be careful? But no, I still do it. Just we probably are on a watch list, Rob.
I think we probably are.
I think that the only thing about that is I've met some quite strange characters through writing sort of graphic stuff. Some absolutely beautiful, and some, that you just want to keep at arm's length. I think sometimes when you write that type of thing, some people tend to think that, you're into that type of thing, which, is the way you live, and you've got to sort of put a clear line with that. So no, it's fiction, and it's just that's it.
We've got a comment for Cheryl. I'm going to throw this out to both of you. No Ordinary Girl would make a great film. Is this something you would be interested in doing with any of your books? And who would you be involved in the process?
Well,
so we'll go to Cheryl first.
Right. Well, what happened with that was we've started. Obviously, we took the screenplay to the festival, and it won at the Screenwriting Festival. And then from there, sort of we developed the teaser trailer. But then we sort of got all the cast together and everything were going on, and then of course COVID happened and we went into lockdown. So at the moment, that's just been put on hold. But it's something I'm looking forward to having it completed in the future. But yeah, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
And Rob, how about you? Would you like to see any of your work on TV?
I am so jealous of Cheryl. and I tell her that every time I see her. and it's a fantastic thing to have happen. I could only dream about somebody picking up one of my books and thinking this would be a great film. And yeah, that would be a fantastic thing to do. But I think it's a little way off.
We've got a question for Rob that has just disappeared. That was helpful. It just disappeared into the river. So, what are you currently working on? What are you doing at the moment?
So,
Rob,
I'm writing the third book in the DS Malice series, and the working title is Central Tales. and I've written 42,000 words of that, and Karen read it last week. So, and that was good. She's given it the big thumbs up, and I have to say that there's a number of plot themes which I now think I can develop with a bit more confidence than before. So hopefully that one will come out this year as well.
Cheryl, you did go into it a little bit earlier on, but can you tell us what you're working on at the moment?
Well, I'm actually working on 3 books. Yeah, don't ask me how this happens, but for some reason this is just the way I write. And I'd started with one particular tale, and it's quite it's about human trafficking again, but with a totally different spin. It's more like in a gypsy camp, and when I wrote that, I just got this other idea. So I started writing this other novel. So I've got another one. And then from that, I also started writing another fantasy novel. So I've got 3 novels that are all half complete. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get a bit of quiet time from the kids being off at the moment and be able to at least complete one. But I don't know how I managed to do that, but that's just how I do it.
I don't know how you managed to do that either.
I don't. And the weird thing about it is, I do things like I'll be falling asleep on a night, and just as I'm falling asleep, and I'll think of something. I think, oh no, I need to write that down. And I've got a notepad and pen next to bed, and I write it down. And then next morning, I type it all up, and that means I've got another novel. So yeah, a little bit strange, but yeah. So my notes are huge. I've got huge notes.
We've got a question for Rob.
Yeah.
We've got a question for Rob that says, would you ever write a standalone? And I'd like to extend that to Cheryl as well. Would you ever write a series? So let's start with Rob.
I would write a standalone. I'm not completely wedded to the fact that my books always end up in a series. But I think it goes back to the previous answer, and that is that my characters develop. And as the storyline goes on, so they give me more information about themselves. And so that makes the following book that much different, that much more involved. And I think that's why they end up being in series. But I've got no issue about writing a standalone if my characters can start and finish, and that's it. But they don't tend to want to do that.
Yeah. Cheryl, would you write a series?
Well, No Ordinary Girl, I'd sort of left that when I did that, I'd done it as a standalone. But obviously, the way it ends, without giving anything away, it can sort of be left that way or left to sort of write a little bit more. And a lot of people said to me after, we really want to see what happened on A Journey Next. So I have started writing a follow-up to that. Well, to be honest, it is nearly complete, that one, actually. I just need my editor just to sort of go over it and do all that. But yeah. So yeah, with that one, yeah. But I do like writing standalones because I think for me it just gives me more scope to explore something different in each book, and that's what I like. I like something, that's sort of different research, different sort of vibe on it. So, but I will carry on with No Ordinary Girl. I've got 3 in mind for that, actually.
Wow.
But it's just having time to fit it all in while I'm doing these other things.
I want to ask about your readers. Who do you give your books to first, Rob?
I didn't get that again, Sam.
Who reads your books first?
Right, okay. So Karen reads my books first, and will read them at about 15,000 words. Then she reads them at about 40 to 50,000 words, and then she reads them at the end. So she will read them 3 times as the writing process goes on. And what I then have is I've got 3 beta readers who I use, and they come at a book from different angles, each of them. So I get 3 different perspectives on their view of it. And so it's kind of a mixture between what Carol does and then what my beta readers do. And that's when what gets worked on, what goes off to the editor, then goes off to the proofreader, and then goes off to my artist.
Cheryl?
Believe it or not, it's my mom. My mom, I write the full novel, and my mom is a hardcore crime and horror reader. My mum's the reason that I have book love. You know, when I was growing up, it was a case of any spooky book or any freaky book, any crime book, it was passed down to me from quite a young age. So I'd say my mum's the expert on it for me. So my mum would read it and go through it. And I suppose at nearly 70, it's a bit, you know, some of the scenes I write, I think, ooh, but no, my mum enjoys doing that. She really does. So that's one thing. And then I also have I also do like a dummy run copy as well. And there's a couple of my friends I'd sort of give it to first and get their feedback. So yeah, definitely my mum. Yeah.
If I can just add to that, Sam, in that because my mum was also one of my readers, but unfortunately she passed away last year, so she never got to read Jaded, which was the 4th book in the D.I. Ross Cray series, and she loved all of the crime, she loved the graphic nature of it. The one thing she didn't like was I wrote a sex scene in the 3rd book of the Mechanic Trilogy. And it's only 1 chapter, but it's a sex scene, and because they're not entirely normal people, it's not entirely a straightforward scene. And every book after that I wrote, she bollocked me about that chapter. Every time she wrote another book, she'd say, "I tell you what, Robert, I thought you had more scenes than that." So I just think to myself, it's a good job she didn't read Killing Pretties.
Oh yeah, actually, I messaged Rob while we were using Killing Pretties.
About that as well is, with it being my mum, I've said to her a few times, you know, do you think I should sort of tame it down a little bit? And my mum's like, no, go what comes naturally. Just do what you feel is appropriate. So I think that's good advice.
The word my mum always used, and she bollocked me about that chapter, was crude. That was her word.
Yeah, I did message Rob during Killing Pretties. Some emojis with the scared emojis, the shocked emojis. Quite surprised. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed everything I've read from you both this week, but you have put me through the ringer. The next question we've got is from Cass again, from Caroline Master. What are your most memorable moments as authors? I love this question. Rob?
I've got a number, but I think one of them that jumps out is when I self-published Those That Remain, which is the first book in the Mechanic Trilogy. And the reason why that so much is because that book took me 24 years to write. And I only really got serious about writing it when my dad fell ill, and he fell ill with cancer. And so I gave up work to look after him and to look after my mum because it was a particularly aggressive illness. Yeah. And writing those things was like my coping strategy for what was happening. And so that was a massive moment. The book was finished. I self-published it, And the other thing is, I don't know where I've got it here. You just bear with me a second.
Go for it.
So this was a self-published book for those that remain, and I don't know whether you can see it, but that is Holly, my youngest daughter, and we took the picture. It doesn't normally have all these striations coming off her. That was the graphic. But yeah, so we took that picture and rounded it off, and we put it on the cover of the book. And I think that's probably one of the most memorable moments that I've had.
Cheryl?
I think for me, it's more about I've met some absolutely lovely people, and I've made some real fabulous friendships through the book community. I mean, there's a few people, from book groups that, I'd message often and they'd message me, and we've got really, really good connections. And also Harrogate, just going out to places like that and getting to meet different people, and also, be able to be a fangirl to them other authors that are there as well, because there's part of that in me as well. Meeting. I mean, I think one of the big things was Harlan Coben. I think because he's, it's such a lovely guy, and when I met him, and I've read all his books, I've watched all his TV programs, so I was like a little bit flustering, But so it is. It's things like that for me, and it's also as well through doing this. I've also been into a couple of schools now and been talking to kids about writing and how important the English language is and how important it is to be able to write, whether it's being able to write to get a job or whether it's being able to write to be an author or for different reasons. Reading should be done. So yeah, a lot of different things for me. I just think it's been a big journey that's been really enjoyable.
It has certainly. I was going to say that being an author has certainly opened doors to me and to Karen, whereby we just did it, and we love doing author events. Harrogate is a fabulous experience, and it's given us a new set of experiences that we would never have had, and I'm really grateful.
We've got another question that says, are there any other genres you would like to tackle? That's from Jennifer Coleman Davis. Rob?
Right, so a little bit of a confession. So I have written the first 30,000 words of a YA novel. And it's got a bit of a psychological, supernatural twist to it. I have to say, I really enjoyed writing it. I wrote it about 3-4 years ago. I'm afraid the last few chapters has taken a bit of a dark twist to it. So, but my daughter said that I can still get away with it. So at some point, I would love to just finish that off because I think it's a good story, and it was very refreshing to write something different. And so far, nobody's died, which for me is a bit of a novelty.
Yeah.
Cheryl?
Well,
any other genres for you, Cheryl?
Yeah, I have got a YA novel, Dragged to the Depths.
Yeah.
Now, it's still a little bit dark, but for me, the reason I wrote this particular book is one of my children is disabled, and she really wanted to read my books, and I didn't think it was appropriate. So I actually wrote this book for her in mind, and within this book, it's dark in places. There's a lot of mythology, there's a lot of shape shifting, but it's also got an underlying message of how everybody should be kind to each other no matter what. So yeah, and I definitely will write more of that. Like I said, with my 3 other novels, I've got one that I've started already. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I think it was just something, because with sort of fantasy, you can just sort of take it to any lengths, can't you? Yeah. So
Yeah. Caroline Maston has asked, would you ever work on a graphic novel adaptation of your books? Rob, ever fancy a graphic novel?
Would you ever work? Yeah, I would do that. I've never considered that. I think there would be a lot of red on the page if we did that. But yeah, that sounds fine. Never considered it.
Cheryl?
Yeah, actually, this is something that I've had a recent discussion with somebody who's an absolutely fabulous artist, and I'm really big into horror as well. So, and I and I've read a lot of like horror comics and things like that, and graphic novels. So, I just thought, I said to, I've got this idea. How about if we can put a spin on this, and you can do the sort of illustrations? And so it's something we're discussing at the moment. So fingers crossed. Don't know where it's going to go, but fingers crossed.
We've got, it doesn't say who it is. Oh no, it does. Jennifer Coleman Davis again. Do any of your friends suggest ideas for storylines or characters? And if yeah, have you ever used those? Should we start with Rob?
I think this is a great question. It's a great question. And I do get suggestions from my friends. But the one who does the most is my brother. And which is interesting. He always starts it by saying, I know how to make your book better. Which is good coming from somebody who's never read any of my books. So but his suggestions are just so outlandish. So for instance, one of them was, I've had a good idea how you can improve your books. Right, Jeff, what we're going to do, said, you need more teachers. I don't know what party you need more teachers. His other one was, have you considered more medical devices? Because they have all sorts of potential for plot twists. I don't know what comes over that. So I've never used any of my brother's suggestions.
Cheryl.
I think that there's a couple of my friends that are sort of really good, and I do run things by them. There's one particular couple, man and wife, that their sort of husband does all sort of my tech stuff, because I'm absolutely naff with tech stuff, and I would, and I would run everything. Yeah, I would run, and I respect their opinion as well. I know they're going to tell me the truth, and so I do that with one of my friends. Yeah,
I love Caroline's comment. I'm just reading it. It says everybody needs more teachers. Great comments. I can just interrupt a second. The other one was about blog tours, and he doesn't really understand what a blog tour is. He thinks it's something to do with going around the country. And he suggested that we get a battle bus like they do in the elections, put the book cover on the side and drive around.
Could be a fun day.
Yeah, you try that and try anything,
yeah. Ingenious, my brother.
We should do this, Rob. That's what we should do. Yeah.
There are also some which actually the hour of this preclude me from telling you. because they were a bit out there.
We've had a question that says, Cheryl, where did you get the background for Stitch? Did you research domestic violence? I think I'd like to put that to both of you on the ideas for, the last books, so for Stitch and for Twinkle Twinkle Little Lies, the background for both.
Yeah. Well, I think
where the idea came from.
Yeah, for Stitch in particular, I think, my mum had quite a hard first marriage, and so some of that sort of was brought on by, things that I'd seen growing up. And the other thing was that I actually went to a woman's refuge and did a little bit of talking to the women there, and just to see like their insight and an experience they'd had, because I mean it is quite a traumatic book, and and I think it's something that people are starting to talk about it more now. But the reason I sort of did that book is also there's somebody that went through this that sort of I sort of know, and just because somebody wears a uniform or is respected in the community, or seems to be that really nice person, doesn't mean to say that behind closed doors is the same person. And what people have to live with sometimes is horrific. So that was my research for that, and what sort of inspired me to write that at the same time.
Rob, how about you for your books? Where do you get your ideas? What's the background?
As I mentioned before, the ideas channel through my characters, and they tell me what's happening both in their life, but also at the background of their lives. And it's a little like Damien. The first thing Damien said to me was, finding body parts in the wall cavity of our house was not the worst thing to happen that day. And when he told me that, it was like, oh, this is now a really interesting. So, and it's just about then having him talk to me. Some of the background I do research, like so in Twinkle, the county lines drug running, and I didn't get that wrong. So therefore, I researched that quite a lot, but there is a key background piece. So again, it's one of those things on my laptop which Karen is going to hand to the police.
We've just got a couple of minutes left, so can you give us a quick recap of Stitch and Twinkle Twinkle Little Lies? Just show off the book covers and give it a final plug for us.
Yeah, well, what I was going to do with Stitch as well is, if I thought if I might even put on my page a giveaway, so if anybody wants to sort of add me on my page, I can do a free book giveaway on there.
Brilliant. And Rob, last flash of the cover.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear. I couldn't hear you. That's Twinkle.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much for joining us and traumatising me. And I will add a link to your books in the chat.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Day.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.